If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
Say it. Go ahead.
Look, every time I see you every year at like 6:30 in the morning, you look like $1 million. What the hell are you doing?
Well, you don't sleep. It's easy.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
It's
right.
simple.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Good to see you.
Every year.
You know who I picked to be in this game, don't you?
No.
Green Bay and Baltimore.
Oh, you did?
That was in
thanks
August.
a lot.
In August,
way to go.
I did that.
Yeah.
In August, I did that.
Well, we were kind of close. I don't know if you know this or not. You know, one guy just holds on to the ball.
Close. Yeah. You know, it's Billy. Is obviously bearing the brunt of it. But You're right. I mean, it's usually a play before it or a play after that becomes very significant in the outcome. The one thing that I thought about the championship game that I was delighted to see is I thought Joe stepped up and proved that he can do the things that he needs to do to lead this team where it needs to go, given the opportunities. So, I'm excited for the Ravens going forward. It'll be an interesting football team because of the age on it. We all of us want to see Ray right here one more time, have a chance to be able to hoist the trophy and carry his message. I mean, what a great ambassador for life Ray Lewis is.
Talk about one of the things going on in Baltimore, Joe, is there's so much discussion about Flacco's mentality, and he has this, and you've met him and you've talked to him, he has this,
I know, Joe, it's his personality.
Right, he has this very even keel, doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. There are a lot of people in Baltimore who say, I need to see him throwing his helmet on the ground like Phillip Rivers does and yelling at his teammates like this guy does. Talk about the personality of a quarterback.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
The only thing that matters is the results at the end of the day. He's done things that guys haven't done in this business. He's been to more championship games in a shorter period of time than anybody in the history of football. He's doing what he is asked to do as a quarterback. When he has to throw, he's been very effective putting the football places. When he has to hand off, he's been very effective. I would like to see him move a little bit more in the pocket, not quite stay as long. I think, change the clock a little bit of what's going on. That's the only thing I would really work on with him is moving around. Find yourself a place to be able to get the ball out of your hands a little bit quicker, a little bit more anticipation. But those are all things that'll become a part of the game. Joe has had so much success at a young age that we forget that he's still an infant in this developmental stages as a quarterback. But there's little things that I think he can do to tweak his game, but there's a really solid foundation going forward. And you can't change. If he tried to do those things, people would look at him and go, "Oh, look at how stupid he looks."
Right, sure, right.
You can't be phony. You have to be sincere. You have to be who you are. That way you gain the respect. You don't have to be liked in our business, but you have to be respected, and I think that's what people are of Joe Flacco.
Obviously,
and they like him too, but you lose, the fans are going to find fault with you.
Sure.
I know. I've been there.
Yeah, right. Obviously, Brady, we don't, there doesn't need to be any commentary made on him because of how great he's been. Eli has, he has a chance right now, obviously, for a second ring, which, I equate this, and I know you're familiar with golf, obviously. I equate it to golf and tennis. Anybody can win one. Anybody can win a major. Lots of guys won one major in tennis or one in golf. When you win, when you got a couple now, you get to the next level. Yep. Talk about Eli's season. The stats bear out that he had a great year, but talk about why he had such a great year.
But it's so much more difficult in a team sport to do what Eli is doing. In golf and tennis games that you referred to, there are rematches. You can have a rematch in tennis. Nadal can play Djokovic. Nadal can play Federer. Again, Eli, when he plays, probably about a third of the team, maybe 60-70% of the team that he's playing and also playing with are different. So for him to have done what he has done this year in his best year was quite amazing in my mind, because he really carried this football team. 5 or 6 comebacks in the fourth quarter for wins, the way he's played of late, the solid pass completions, good decisions. About the last 5 games, 11 touchdowns, 1 interception. Just what he's doing with the football, he's unflappable. Now you talk about somebody who has no emotion, who doesn't throw his helmet down, who doesn't yell at his players. It's Eli Manning. But evidently it's okay. If Joe Flacco is that way, it's not okay. I just think Eli's been playing great. And that's why I like the Giants in this game. I think the way he has played is just been wonderful to watch. It really has. And nobody worries about a legacy. He's still young in his career. Will he be a Hall of Famer? He probably will someday, rightfully so, if he plays long enough.
What are we going to do about the quarterback situation with your old team? You ready to come back?
No, I'm not ready. Trust me. If they got to me, we would be in a lot of trouble.
What are they going to do, though, Joe? I mean, it's been such a problem.
There's two things they can do. They can get into the Matt Flynn sweepstakes, which is the only viable alternative out there.
Is that a recommendation for you? I mean,
I think you have to look at the possibilities and see what it would cost you. The Redskins have been notorious for giving up draft picks. You saw what Ryan Kerrigan did as a draft pick. So you saw what Roy Halou did as a draft pick. I think there's a value to him. Arakpo. I mean, they've made strides, but that one area they haven't been able to benefit to be able to get what they needed is out of the quarterback position. I think that you have to pursue the draft, maybe an RG3. It's time that the Redskins drafted a quarterback high enough and said, okay, you're going to be our guy. We're going to develop and build the team around you. I don't think Mike Shanahan is there just for 5 years. I think Mike will go on beyond that, and needs to. There needs to be some sense of stability in Washington at the coaching position and the playing position at the quarterback. I mean, there have been 29 quarterbacks, I think, since I left in 28 years that have started. I mean, there's no stability. There's nobody that you look at and say, that's the leader of the football team. You can't have that. And coaches can't be the face of a franchise. It has to be a player.
I see you every year here. I always admire you because you're coming around and you always have a cause. You've been in before talking about prostate cancer. You and I have exchanged our numbers,
we have,
our PSA numbers. You're always around here talking about something to benefit people.
Well, health I think is very important, and I've been very lucky to be around a business that is all about health. And what I've been on it for the last 3 years, and you've heard me talk about it, is abdominal aortic aneurysms, or as we refer to it as AAA. It's a bulge in the artery that carries blood from the heart to the lower extremities. If it ruptures, there's about a 90% chance you're going to die. So what I'm simply doing is encouraging men and women in your 50s and 60s, when you go get a physical, and you should every year, ask the doctor to screen for an abdominal aortic aneurysm. It's a simple ultrasound test, takes about 10 minutes, it's non-invasive. We have a website, which is findtheaaanswers.org. You can log on and find out a lot more about it. We've done over 1,000 screenings, and we found over 50 AAAs, which means basically we feel like we've saved 50 people's lives.
So it's treatable if it's found?
Everything's treatable if it's found early enough. That's the most important thing. And from my perspective, being where I am at my age, it's important that I encourage people to, and I say this to the women out there, you get your guys to do it, because men as a whole, if it's not falling off, we don't feel like we need to go to the doctor.
I'll be fine tomorrow.
So we'll let it go from there. But I encourage the women to get out and say, honey, it's time for you to get your physical, and be sure you ask for that. Because in a normal physical, you don't get screened for AAA. So ask for it specifically. Be proactive. And like I say, go to our website, which is findtheaaanswers.org, and you'll find out a lot more about it.
You're a good man, Joe.
Thanks, guys. Always great being with you.
Always good to have you.
I'm still hanging with the Ravens.
I like it. There he goes, the great Joe.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.